All right. Hey, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Now What podcast, where we make space for real talk about life after high school. If you have not been with us before, my name is Keira Simmonds, and I am your very own career coach and host of the Now What podcast. However, none of the things that we do at Lifehouse can be done by myself. So, in fact, it takes a whole team to bring all the resources and information together for you to help you pursue your career dreams and define what your own path is. So, today we're going to flip the script just a little bit and hear from some of our very own Lifehouse career educator interns. These young ladies are navigating their own journeys and joined Lifehouse to help you do the same. So, say hello to our interns, Yashfin and Chelsea. Say hey, ladies.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm so excited that both of you are joining today. Have either of you been on a podcast before?
I have personally never been on a podcast, but it's always been on my bucket list, so I'm excited.
Check. What about you, Chelsea?
I've been on a podcast before back during my senior year of high school. I was a part of this youth group that my city held, and we did a podcast. We only recorded 3 episodes, but there is a podcast out there that I did and I hosted with like the other like high schoolers and middle schoolers in the group. So that was a fun thing I did once.
So we have a veteran podcaster here, so that's amazing. Check out Chelsea at a podcast near you. So amazing. Well, Lifehouse fam, I'm happy to report that both Chelsea and Yashvin will be co-hosting a few episodes of Now What, so you'll get to hear more from them. But before we do that, how about we get to know them a little bit? So, ladies, I'm going to give you a few moments to introduce yourself to our audience. Let's see. Chelsea, how about you go first?
Well, hi everyone. My name is Chelsea, and right now I am, an upcoming junior at UF. I'm going to be graduating class 2027, and I'm majoring in health science with a minor in sociology.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing. And if we could have like one word that describes how you feel about the future, Chelsea, what would that word be?
Scared is definitely one of them because I'm also pre-med. So I'm trying to do my best to go about the path reaching my ultimate goal of becoming a physician. But that is a bit nerve-wracking because, it all
I bet.
depends, huh?
No, I said I totally bet that that's nerve wracking.
No, it feels nerve-wracking because, it feels like there's so many things you have to do at once. So I just feel, nervous that I might not be able to do it all, but I have to, remember to focus on one thing at a time, and it will all go out well.
Yeah, it'll all come together for sure. All right, Yashvin, what about you? Can you introduce yourself to our audience, please?
Yes, of course. My name is Yashfin. I'm a rising third year at the University of Florida, and I'm currently majoring in biology while minoring in mass communications. I'm hoping to hopefully enter a career in optometry, maybe specialize in ocular diseases, but that's all up in the air. And hopefully, I graduate spring of 2026.
All right. And what about you? One word to describe how you feel about the future.
If I had one word, it would be hopeful. I feel like as someone in the health field and a health major, it's hard to come by opportunities sometimes. And it's a lot of work to try and get those opportunities and make them last. So, constantly applying for certain organizations or like maybe even getting a job, all of this ends up with a feeling of hope at the end when I click that submit button, all in hopes of maybe adding another experience in my life and just having another thing to enjoy.
Yeah. Amazing. I feel like both of your words that our students can really like resonate with those. Probably not even like either or, maybe both at like the same time. At the same time. So thank you for sharing. All right. So Lifehouse spam, they don't know I'm about to do this, but we're gonna do a quick icebreaker to help us get to know you a little better. Are you game, Chelsea and Yashvin?
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
All right, so I'm gonna give you two choices. It's kind of like a this or that or like a would you rather. I don't know if you all have like played that type of icebreaker game. But I just want you to kind of pick your choice, as we would say in Jamaica, choose your choice. And just say the first one that comes to mind. Don't overthink it. Just kind of go with your gut, okay?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna this is like rapid fire Lifehouse edition. First question. Work from home or office vibes?
I would say office
Office
vibes.
vibes.
Ah, both of you. And I'm totally work from home. Okay. Second one, 8 to 5 or make your own hours?
8 to 5.
Make your own hours.
Okay, all right. We have some diversion going on here, right? Suit and tie or
Yeah.
hoodie and sneakers?
Hoodie and sneakers.
Suit and tie.
I'm with Yashvin on here. Hoodie and sneakers for me all the way. All right. Job with flexibility or job with security?
Hmm. With flexibility, job with
I
flexibility.
agree. Job with flexibility.
Yeah. All right. So this was a three-parter. Coffee, tea, or I run on fumes type of situation.
I think I'm a team.
Tea 100%.
Yeah.
Team tea.
Yes.
What's your favorite type of tea?
I'm a classic.
I like. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm a classic black tea girly with milk and like some ginger and whatnot.
Ooh, ginger and milk. Okay,
Yeah,
I have to try that
it's
one.
really good. I 10 out of 10 recommend.
Okay. Chelsea, what about you?
Funny enough, I'm not a black tea, but I also like ginger in my favorite tea combination. I specifically love lemon ginger tea. I think that's like the lemon ginger green tea specifically. That's like the best
Oh,
combination. I always include like lemon slices in my tea, and I always use honey to sweeten them. I only ever use sugar when I'm also drinking black tea, but like green tea, honey, ginger, lemon, that's like the perfect combination. It's very like
okay.
relaxing.
I'm going to have to try those two. I think most often I do black tea with like lime, like fresh lime. I prefer fresh lime than like the lime juice
I've never
that you
had that
buy out of the
before.
bottle. But when I do tea with milk, I do tea with condensed milk. But I haven't tried the ginger, so I'm totally gonna try that, and then I'm gonna try the tea with lemon and what was it? The ginger on top of that. Is that what you said,
Yes.
Chelsea? Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. So, what do you use for brain fuel? Chips or chocolate?
Chips.
I'm a chocolate. Chocolate.
Okay. Milk chocolate, dark chocolate.
I'm a dark chocolate girly.
Okay. What type of chips, Chelsea?
It can be any kind. I just like crunchy foods. They're always fun to
Crunchy
eat.
food. Okay. I'm a Lay's original type of girl. All right. So, would you say that you're better at writing the perfect email or speaking with total confidence on the spot?
Writing the perfect
I
email.
think speaking with confidence on the spot.
Okay. Both are necessary. I think, all right. Do you always know what to say or do you always know when to listen?
I always know when to listen.
Know when to listen.
All right. Last two for you. Do you want to go viral with your life's work or quietly change lives?
Quietly change lives.
I'll go quietly change lives too.
All right. I'm like both. I want to do both. Oh, it's possible. I want to do both. All right. Do you want to follow your plan or follow the opportunity?
I'd love to follow the opportunity.
I want to follow the opportunity too.
Yeah. All right.
Mm.
Awesome. Well, that's it. Wasn't too bad, was it?
No, it was fun.
No,
I
I
feel
like
like I
that.
got to know you all a little bit better and got like tons of recommendations too. So that's amazing. So hopefully our audience feels a little closer to you. So let's kind of get into today's episode, the real talk, the real reason while we're here. This episode, we're talking about career exploration and that journey. So, not just the plans, but all the questions that might come up along the way and what our now what moments might have been that kind of shaped Chelsea and Yashfin along the way. So, ladies, as I kind of start us off in this conversation, I ask that you kind of bring your honesty and your insight that only can come from you and your unique experience. All right. So, we're going to jump into the first question to kind of kick us off. I've coached a number of individuals over the years because that's what I do. I'm a career coach. And many of my students have kind of reached milestones like graduation from school. And I think many of them have had these moments where they pause and wonder, okay, I've gotten here, now what? So tell me, and maybe Chelsea, you can take this. What was a
Mm.
moment where you asked yourself, now what?
For me, I would say there are more of two moments when I asked, now what?
Hmm.
Uh, the first time was definitely at preview for the first time when I went to my UF preview like a month after graduating high school. There
Hmm.
was just so much going on with with the preview staff, cheering a lot, lots of loud noises, lots of presentations and information sessions to go to that I kind of felt like scattered brained, especially at the end of the first day. I was just
Yeah.
completely there felt like so many options to choose from, and I wasn't quite sure, like, what I should do or, like, what would be, like, the best fitting for me, to reach my ultimate, goal to be a physician, or even if that changed along the way too. I didn't even know if that's something I really wanted to do. So, at
Yeah.
preview, I just felt so overwhelmed with everything that was, like, very much like a mind-boggling kind of
And
experience the first time.
for real. So for those who may not know what preview is, what's preview?
Oh, right. Preview is the UF's orientation for incoming freshman students. So
Hmm.
once you get your acceptance, you'll be asked to like pick several dates, from May through August to come over to the campus and really like get an understanding of what you should expect on your first year here. And they like answer a bunch of questions that you may have. So very, very informative session. And it was a 2-day thing. So
Hmm.
yeah, and if you wanted to, there's also an opportunity to stay the night on campus if you were really looking into, like, opportunities like housing and such on campus.
Yeah.
So very, very, you know, informative experience.
Yeah, other colleges have their own kind of equivalent to preview. The umbrella term, I guess, would be first year orientation. So,
Yeah,
if
definitely,
you're thinking
definitely.
about, yeah, going to university, definitely, I don't even think it's optional, but check into your first year orientation to get information about what um, university or college would be about. Yashvin, how was the preview experience for you?
It was definitely fun. It's one of those moments where you meet so many people in the same sub college as you at the same time. So it's one
Hmm.
of the best times to meet a lot of people, meet a lot of new friends, get a lot of Instagrams and other types of social media, and maybe even meet them once you start college. So it was nice seeing UF from the perspective of what to expect, especially because there was so
Hmm.
much to UF that I didn't even realize existed. And even now,
Yeah.
even though I went to preview or like my freshman orientation, I feel like I'm still discovering things. So I think it's nice that every college has their little orientation to kind of help freshmen filter in.
Absolutely. And I will say, as you're thinking about when you get to a milestone and you're like, "Oh my gosh, now what?" I think this idea of preview orientation really helps to make something that seems overwhelming and large, smaller and manageable. So talking about the connections that you make or maybe the guidance that you get. So I think that kind of follows into other now what moments. It's like find a community and find other people to kind of lean on and help you navigate what the situation is because we've all kind of been there and done that. So your chances of finding a community to lean on is very, very large. All right. So Chelsea, you said there were two now what moments. So what was your other one?
The second moment was after I finished moving in, and my parents and my sisters had left Gainesville, so it was just me and my roommate alone in our dorm room, and it was like a literal, like, "Now what?" Like, we have this whole day, we weren't really sure what to do with it,
Mm-hmm.
and, I don't know, it just kinda, like the situation kinda really dawned on me, like, I'm actually alone now, and I'm gonna be living really far away from my family, and I was going to be living with the roommate that I had, known in high school, so she wasn't a new person, but at least I had, like, some kind of familiar face, but everything else was, like, absolutely brand new. So, yeah, it was
Hmm.
just, like the weight of the situation just really dawned on me that I'm actually, like, starting college and that it wasn't, like, a far off fantasy that you've had for years because you finally reached that moment.
It's like here. It's
Yeah.
absolutely like, oh my gosh, now what? I'm really adulting now. I think those moments really teach us a lot about ourselves and kind of the ideas of who we are. And those ideas change, as I'm sure you've learned a lot of things about yourself in the years that you've been at the University of Florida, and you'll continue to learn more. So my next question is, when those ideas change and we learn more about ourselves and the world, let's talk a little bit more about that. Have you ever changed your mind about what you wanted to do and what made you change? Yashfin, since Chelsea got the first question, how about you take this one?
I definitely, even though I've changed my mind multiple times, but I think I've always fell under the umbrella of healthcare because I grew up
Okay.
watching Doc McStuffins and like always having that exposure to doctors. It's like those little things that was like, wow, like I would love to like play around with a stethoscope and whatnot. But when I was younger, like as a kid, I was like, okay, I want to be a pediatrician because all I knew was my pediatrician. Like I didn't know who else there
Mm,
was. And then as I grew older and started gaining more exposure to different physicians in high school, I was like, you know what? Like maybe I'll enter medical school and then realize what I actually want to be through different rotations.
hmm
And then once I got to college, I still wasn't feeling too sure about medical school until I found out that I could be an optometrist, because I didn't know, even though I've been going to the eye doctor my whole life, I'm clearly not the best at my vision. I've been going to an optometrist since I was in kindergarten, but I had no idea that they had a separate school just for optometrists, kind of like dental school, where it's a school just to become an eye doctor. And learning that made me realize that a lot of the times the thing that made me change my mind in terms of what I want to be within the health field is literally learning more information about the health field itself. Every time I gain some
mm,
more information, I realize, wow, like there's another way to do this. There's another path I could take. It doesn't have to be, oh, like straight to medical school. Instead, I could help change lives a different way. I could be a PA, I could be a dentist, I could be an optometrist. And now I feel more sure about optometry than I did about any other thing. And I think what helped fulfill that was my own experiences with the optometrist. So, where
hmm
one side of the coin is like learning new information, I think the other side is my own experiences and what I've seen and gone through that helped me also
Yeah.
kind of shape into what I want to do in the future.
That resonates so much with me because, like, experiences really do make a whole lot of difference, which means you kinda have to make yourself get out there and experience stuff, right? You're not gonna experience something in front of YouTube. Well, I suppose you would, but, like, but real talk, though, you kinda have to get out, meet people, go places, get uncomfortable a little bit to see what the world has to offer. I know for me as a career coach, I didn't even know career coaching was a career path when I was growing up. Like that wasn't even a part of my itinerary of things to think about. I was like, okay, perhaps I could be a doctor, perhaps I could be I think I did architects. And then at one point a chef, and then I ended up going to college for psychology because I was just interested in how people think. And that kind of launched a whole set of other careers because then I ended up in social work, in child welfare, and that led to, long story short, to being a career coach. But so yeah, definitely get out there and experience things and expose yourself to information and people for sure. Um, Do you think that y'all's experience with identifying, um, different career paths was common for, say, your peers, or did their paths kind of look different? Tell me, do you have friends that kind of took a different path than you or maybe had a similar experience in that sense?
So, I feel like I have friends in every field, which has grown to me, like, to become more inquisitive about, like, what there is in the world. I think that was another way where I was like, "Oh, like, would I wanna do this?" So I have friends going into political science, into
Mhm,
business, and then even, like, just other pathways within health, so people who wanna go to medical school, who want to become a PA, who want to become a surgical tech and whatnot. And everyone's journey ultimately comes to a few different factors that help them decide what route they wanna take. And it's like those questions that you ask yourself, "Oh, is this something I see myself doing for the rest of my life maybe?" Or even like, "Oh, is this something I could do while enjoying my own hobbies? Will this be
mhm,
my hobby and whatnot? Like, will my job be my hobby?" It's all these little meticulous questions. "Oh, is a salary more important to me? Or is the experience more important to me?" That I think shaped whichever way anyone goes. So, like, for me and my friend personally, the reason why I chose optometry and not dental school, and she chose dental school and not optometry, is because I really appreciate communication with people. And I feel like as a dentist, I wouldn't really have that as much since I would be in their teeth and their mouth. They wouldn't
ah,
Right. So it's like, even though I've experienced the dentist also my whole life, I found myself being more drawn to my optometrist who developed such a strong connection with me. Not to say that dentists can't form that, but I couldn't see myself doing that in their shoes. And then my friend who's going through dental right now, she is more introverted. She kind of likes working on her own and she likes being crafty. And dental school is a lot of craftiness, being able to work with different molds and whatnot, so it really worked for her and her
mm,
hobbies, while facilitating to her communication method, which is being more service-oriented rather than
mhm.
communication-oriented.
That's a great point. Josie, what about you? Have you had friends that kind of took a different path?
Yes. It actually changed based on location. Back initially when I was in
Mm,
my hometown in high school, I was very much surrounded by, people who were really interested in STEM and healthcare, and I think that's definitely where some of my inspiration, some of my aspirations to join healthcare also came from, the people I surround myself
mhm,
with. But coming to college, especially with like a much bigger pool of people, I've gotten to make friends with people in so many different major pathways too. And
mhm,
even back in Gainesville, when during the school year when I live with my roommates, I have 3 of them, we all do completely different things. One of my roommates is a mechanical engineering major. I have another one who is an economics major and another one who's business administration. So we all are like go through completely different
yeah,
experiences, and we all especially, like, love, like, late nights when we're stressed out, like, talking to each other about, I have like this project to build, or I have like this business presentation, or me when I'm complaining about organic chemistry, I get like little glimpses into what like each of their like lives look like and what their aspirations are because my friends, they are my roommates, my friends, they're wonderful people and they all go to into those different majors doing something they love. My friend doing mechanical engineering, she wants to ultimately um fly planes, potentially become a pilot. She loves planes. Every time there's one in the sky, she will like pull out an app on her phone, pointing it out, telling you exactly what kind it is. So she's going into
Oh, that's
engineering
amazing.
to like to get a further understanding of like build of like airplanes and building and even outside of airplanes too. And I get to so I think it's really cool to see aspirations on that side, and in a way for me it's also like a glimpse at different careers too. Like my friend who's interested in economics, she's great with numbers, amazing at math, and she will probably be able to like make great contributions when it comes to looking at the stocks and other stuff
Mhm.
that people in finance do and economics do as well. And just like being surrounded by those kinds of people too, and even outside of my roommates, I have friends doing nursing and political science. I think it just kind of makes for a way for you to do like a mini career exploration, maybe amongst your friends if they end up, I know, influencing you into
Mhm.
looking towards those career options more. I think having a diverse group of people interested in a plethora of things really opens your eye also to like what kind of opportunities are out there for you and can also help you explore yourself and what kind of things you'd be interested in yourself.
Yeah, good point. Because I feel like, when you surround yourself with people who are passionate about the things that they're exploring, it allows you to see that thing in its best light, right? So, whereas I might be somebody who's like, a plane?" So, like, we're looking at a plane right now. I think just by being in the presence of somebody who's so enamored with it can show you, "Oh my gosh, no, this could be exciting." So, good point. And then you said organic chemistry, Chelsea, and I was just like, "Oh my," it's like, "Oh my gosh, organic chemistry." Um,
The
okay.
flashbacks.
Flash said that part, like, avoid at all costs, hence why I'm a psychology major.
Excuse me.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, I digress. Alright, so my next question is if you could hop in a time machine and give your younger self some good old solid career wisdom without freaking your old self out or younger self out, what would you say? What advice would you give to your younger self about career planning?
Ooh, personally, I would tell myself to be more annoying. And like as bad as it sounds, it's like in terms of I think I was so shy in being like, I'm gonna be annoying to the adults that I never asked adults any questions. And I feel like that's one of the
Mhm.
things that I wish I did more when I was younger. It's like ask them, oh, what are you doing? What does your day look like? Just simple things like that. Things that would have maybe incited my curiosity more in general and like shape which way I could even look towards to. Because I feel like there's a lot you can learn from the people around you, and I think ultimately when I was younger, I feared that they wouldn't wanna answer my questions. They'd be like, "Oh, who's this little kid annoying me?" But now coming to, like, ask different people about what they're doing and how they're doing it, I realized, like, people are a lot more passionate than I gave them credit for when I was younger, and they love talking about what they do and how they do it and how they got there. And not only that, they'd even offer more information than what you would initially ask because it's what they ended up doing for a reason. So I would definitely tell my younger self, like, let it all go, like, completely ask questions. I promise they'll probably forget you asked a question, or they'll remember and be like, "Wow, some kid asked me a question about, like, what I'm doing," and that's, like, the whole reason why those people end up doing what they're doing.
Chelsea, what about do you have any advice that you would give your younger self?
It would be to not be afraid to look outside of the typical norms that everyone is telling you of. My parents, I know they were always like, doctor, lawyer, like those basic type of careers. But I
Uh-huh.
think that I wish at least that I would have like looked into alternatives, or like even going onto stuff like regarding the internet too. A lot of people are like, getting creative and like finding ways to do what they love online. So I guess also like putting yourself out there, because I was also kind of a shy kid and I kind of stuck to niches that I knew. But it wasn't until I got to college when I actually was looking out. Back in high school, I was kind of really into computers because my friend group was also into computers as well. But it wasn't until high school when I started looking out into things more like health and like astronomy. I was really in astronomy, where and sociology, where I kind of like looked into things that I would be interested in doing that I wish I kinda did in high school. Kind of like being around, like, an echo chamber can really stifle your vision, and I feel like when you, like, open yourself up to the other options out there, you can find so many other things that you love doing that you have yet to even discover.
Wow, I that resonated so much at the echo chamber piece, was amazing. Alright, so I wanted to maybe talk a little bit in this kind of next segment about, uh, your well, hosting your own episodes, and I'm hoping that you all are excited to do that, yes?
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely.
Oh, I was like, "Not this silence." I'm like, "Oh my god, they're not excited." Oh my gosh. But when we're young, as you all kind of alluded to, it can feel like we have to pick kind of one path or the path that people kind of lay out for us. But the truth is, we all have a bunch of possible lives inside of us, and that's really exciting. You might love science, or you might be curious about writing, or you might picture yourself as a business owner, or maybe somebody who's traveling or helping others. All of those lives kind of live in each and every one of us, and exploring them gives us the permission to imagine different ways that our future could look like and not locking yourself into kind of one version. So, Yashvin and Chelsea, let's talk about some of the possible lives that you might have envisioned for yourself. What's a job or a career that you're curious about but maybe haven't explored yet?
I think the entertainment industry is super fascinating. And I would have loved to maybe experiment with that as a dancer, I would assume.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think I would see myself as a dancer. I'm not gonna say that I'm, like, super talented, but I did have a lot of fun dancing in general. Just when I was younger too, I would dance at cultural festivals, and I thought that was a lot of fun. And I feel like it's such a dynamic career. There's so many different ways to adapt dancing as a
Uh-huh.
career, whether it be as a background dancer or as a choreographer. There's the the opportunities are limitless, you know? As for any other,
Yeah.
career, but I think dancing would have been the most fascinating for me because I like music and it's something fun, and then I would have been active at the same time. Just all in all, something cute, fun, and something I think I would be able to see myself doing in another world.
I feel you. All right, get your two-step on, Yashvin. Chelsea, what about you?
I feel like I would have loved to kind of explore athletics more.
Hmm.
When I was younger, I did sports a few times. I did track and I did basketball, and they did not really end up sticking for a long time with me. But I've always been told, at least by the adults in my life, that I have potential, and that I
Mhm.
like maybe if I like I was like wondering like if I had like, tried more, or if I had like giving myself, more chances, because I kinda stopped doing them because I feel like I wasn't good at it immediately, which is kinda my downfall, like, not really giving myself the chance to properly grow in the sport instead of calling it quits after, like, a season or 2.
Chelsea,
So
Chelsea, don't read me. I tried piano, I tried dancing just like that. Quit both of them. I regret it to this day.
yeah, I've tried small
Sorry, I
stuff
didn't mean
like
to
that, like
interrupt. Go ahead.
basketball. No, I'm sorry. No, it's okay. But yeah, things like basketball, track, even I did music for a little while too. I played the flute. There's so many like small things that I did in my life that I wish I kind of delved into longer and given myself the chance to really see where I could have gone with that, because I would have it would have been cool to see myself, I don't know, as an Olympic athlete running on the track field, or shooting those basketball hoops in the NBA. So I who knows? That could have been a possible future for me if I, had taken the chance to kind of look into it more.
Mhm.
But that's something I would have loved to I wished, I guess, looking back on my life, that I kind of stuck with more.
Thanks for sharing, both of you. I asked about possible lights because during your internship here with LifeHouse, I asked both Chelsea and Yashfin to do some research, if you will, on career clusters of interests. And career clusters, for those of you who are unfamiliar with their term, are like categories or families of jobs that have similar skills and focus, or they do similar types of work. So kind of think of them of like your playlist of careers kind of grouped by like what you like doing or what you're kind of good at. So instead of thinking, what job do I want right away? Career clusters can help you ask kind of, what kind of work am I into? What skills do I want to grow? And it's a way to explore without locking yourself into just one kind of job title. So that's what career clusters are. So I asked them to look at some clusters. And Chelsea, why don't you start and tell the Lifehouse family which clusters you chose to research? And then Yashua, you can follow up with which ones you chose.
The clusters that I chose to research are information technology and human services. And the reason I chose those things are because I've kind of had little hints of interactions with them a bit in my life. Being interested in computers, and human services is about working with people and kind of being like of service to general people in small or bigger ways. I was really interested in information technologies because I I do enjoy being like a little busybody on the computer, and even though I'm not focusing on that, even though I'm not focusing on that, like in towards my studies at UF, I'm a health science major. I still enjoy I still enjoy learning a lot about, like, technology, computer, both on the software and the hardware side, because it's also
Hmm.
just, like, really useful information to know yourself. So I've taken, like, time to, get jobs, or just look at, like, online, like, courses and stuff just about, working on the computer and some things like software and coding, and I think it's a really, like, useful skill to know, so I wanted to delve in more into that and give myself a chance to, like, spread my wings, more in that subject. And I
Hmm.
also, chose human services because it's all about helping people out, whether it's small ways as, like, a hairdresser or working as a social worker. It's a really incredible way to kinda touch people's lives, and I think it kind of, like stretches out. Similarly, I think it kind of works the same way as healthcare, where you touch people's lives in a different and just as impactful way. So I wanted to also explore that too and see what that looked like, outside of the healthcare setting, and what kind of like impacts you really have when you're interacting with other people in this field.
The two career clusters I chose were marketing, sales, and services, and the second one is education and training. And basically, the first one, marketing, services, and sales, it's a career cluster that encompasses a lot of occupations that are important for driving businesses. And the best way to sum it up is that it's filled with careers that essentially work together to deliver a company's message or value or even services to customers. And we're those customers sometimes. Like we see that in every shape and form, like around the corner in our little supermarket, our family-owned restaurants, or even the biggest corporations we see. But it could also be in ways that
Mhm.
you don't really realize. Even like me and Chelsea, we're both going into healthcare, and even that, we're offering services. So even though that's not the particular service that this cluster is putting it towards, it's one of those things that does help drive those private practices and other organizations. And some examples of like occupations in that field include like sales representatives, brand managers, marketing analysis, many different occupations. And then the second one, education and training, kind of similar to Chelsea with human services. I feel like education and training is something so essential to everyone. And
Mhm.
it's the foundation of what we do. It's like how we've gotten as far as we have gotten. And it's the root, I would say, like the seeds that you grow into this huge tree of knowledge you become. And it's crazy because we don't give our teachers enough credit for what they're doing. But it's not just teachers in these occupations. Like in education and training, we also have people who work at the museum, our counselors, even corporate training. So it's a lot more diverse than we think. So I would love to bring that out to light for other people to know as well. Because I didn't even know that a lot of these careers we see in our day to day lives are also included in education and training.
Yes, I am. I agree that we don't give teachers a lot of credit sometimes, and they are so foundational to who we are as people and the impact that we have on the world. So I'm definitely all there for it. But you're right. I think with both human services, that cluster, as well as education and training, I think people kind of put those clusters in a box, right? And they label it one career, and it's so diverse. I'm very much excited about what you all are going to share with us, not only through the podcast, but through the resources that you're going to be developing in regards to those clusters. So we have I'm going to leave that for today. Hopefully that kind of seeds what's coming next on the Now What podcast for our listeners. So if you want to know more about those clusters, Chelsea and Yashfin are going to bring the message to you. They're going to interview professionals in those fields that will allow you to kind of get a deeper insight, if you will, about what to expect by some of the clusters, some of the careers in that cluster. So not the whole thing, but just some of it. So we're helping you do the exploration, if you will. So that's all we have today. So thank you, ladies, for sharing your journey and your golden nuggets with us and spending time with us on Now What. And hopefully you enjoyed your time today as a guest, soon to be host of your very own episodes. And Lifehouse fam, hopefully you got to hear what Yashvin and Chelsea are curious about and what excites them, and even take heed to the advice that they would give to their younger selves. Because why not learn from other people, right? I think their stories kind of remind us that career paths aren't one size fits all. There's so much out there for you to explore and to consider and to imagine yourself in. So please, be curious, be courageous, and, recognize that change is all a part of the journey. So before we sign off, let me say this. If you're a young person kind of wondering, now what? Know that you're not alone. And you don't have to have it all figured out. We are all figuring it out, even us grown folks that look like we have it together. We're all still figuring it out. So just take it one step at a time, stay open, keep learning along the way. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please like and subscribe so you can stay up to date and get notified from when Yashfin and Chelsea's episodes are on the air. And we are also on your social media platforms. So Lifehouse Info. So if you're on TikTok, for Instagram, Lifehouse Info. And if you want to find us online, we're lifehouse.com. And remember, that's life with a Y, not an I. Thanks for tuning in to this special intern edition of Now What? And we'll catch you next time. Bye.